Giulia Tofana, born 1620 in Palermo, Italy, created a special kind of blemish cream, one that would make the women who used it infamous. Perhaps you heard of it. It was called Aqua Tofana, and it was made of a mixture of lead, arsenic, and belladonna. The bottle of this beauty cream had Saint Nicholas on it and killed over 600 men throughout Italy. In the days when divorce was the privilege of wealthy men alone, women had few choices, so women did what they needed to do in order to get themselves out of a very bad situation. And Giulia Tofana provided the assistance they needed. Giulia helped women out of their terrible relationships by simply using face cream. After all of the cosmetics at the time used ingredients like arsenic, lead, and belladonna, so why not use it for a different purpose? Poison, you see, was these men's untimely end. Giulia Tofana was so beloved by the people, especially women at the time, for her services, that she was warned about the warrant for her arrest. The only reason that the authorities came looking for her was that there was a rumor spreading that she had poisoned the water supply. She, in fact, had not. When they finally caught her, she was tortured and confessed to killing over 600 men. Tofana was executed in Campo di Fiore in Rome in 1659, along with her daughter and some of her most trusted associates. Lady Jane Grey, born October 1537 in Leicestershire, was the titular Queen of England for 9 days in 1553. At the age of 15, she was reluctantly put on the throne. The great-granddaughter of Henry VII, Jane was barely 9 years old when she went to live in the household of Queen Catherine Parr, and upon Parr's death became the ward of Catherine's fourth husband, Thomas Seymour, who had planned to marry her to his young nephew, King Edward VI. But before he could, Seymour was beheaded for treason in 1549. Then, after Lady Jane's father was made the Duke of Suffolk in October 1551, she was constantly at the royal court, where John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland, suggested to Edward VI that Jane marry his son, Lord Guildford Dudley. After Edward died on July 6, 1553, Lady Jane was proclaimed queen. Because of her extreme Protestant views, Edward had made her his successor. But according to an act of Parliament and her father Henry VIII's will, Mary Tudor was the heir to the throne. She also had the support of the people. Lady Jane Grey was then persuaded to relinquish her unwanted crown, and Mary was proclaimed queen. Both Lady Jane and her father were committed to the Tower of London, but he was soon pardoned. Lady Jane Grey pleaded guilty to high treason and was sentenced to death, but her execution was suspended until, in February 1554, her father participated in Sir Thomas Wyatt's rebellion. Mary Tudor understood that it was too much of a risk to keep any of them alive, so Lady Jane Grey and her husband were beheaded on February 12th, 1554, and her father was executed 11 days later.